Good evening. Welcome to Oxford Community Television News. I'm Elgin Nichols, and coming up in this week's local news, there could be a building boom coming to Oxford, and Addison gets new equipment for their fire department. The Oxford News begins right now.
The American Legion, we're a powerful force for the nation. We're patriots through and through. We believe in our flag and all that it stands for. Our Constitution, our Pledge of Allegiance, our way of life are all fundamental to maintaining our freedom and the standing that we have as the greatest country on earth. We promote and defend these values every day in communities across the nation. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
There's great news for Oxford. The building business is returning. The Bloomfield Hills-based Robertson Brothers wants to build 53 detached condominiums at the Hills of Oxford, a 26.81-acre development located at M24 and Indian Lake Roads. The company is in the final stages of purchasing the Hills of Oxford property and plans to build 45 ranch units, each at 1,636 square feet in size and 7 at 1,944 square foot units. According to the developer, the homes are designed for someone who wants to sell their house, stay in the community, and have a more manageable first floor ranch condominium, and providing the homeowner with much less maintenance. They are planning to sell under $200,000 each. Next stop will be the Oxford Township Planning Commission. Thanks to a $6,163 grant from the Four County Community Foundation, Addison's rescue teams are able to purchase all the equipment necessary to electronically fill out, file, and submit reports regarding patients they transport to the hospital. The fire department will be adding matching funds of $745 in order to buy 2 Toughbook laptop computers, 2 charging stations, and 2 printers. 1 set will go to each of Addison's 2 ambulances. In addition to being a time saver, making the switch will of handwritten paper reports to typed electronic reports can result in better medical care for patients. And because the documents are more legible, there are fewer medical errors or misunderstandings. Now, the Oxford Village Council spent most of the meeting discussing the DDA's poor financial situation. They were trying to resolve ways to handle their 2013-14 fiscal year budget woes. It was pretty much agreed that they have no money and no real means to get any. They do have property ownership, but due to past poor real estate performance, the DDA has been unable to sell the property, which has been listed for 3 years. It was pointed out by the council that even if the DDA could sell the property, it would only be for a short-range fix. One suggestion for the council was to float them a loan. This quickly was turned down because there is no way that they could repay the loan. Like many other government entities, the DDA has been forced to deal with declining tax revenues due to decreasing property values over the last few years. The next area that the Village Council will be forced to address is personnel and a possible restructuring of the Downtown Development Association. There's some problems there. There is both bad news and good news for 2 building locations on Washington Street, downtown Oxford. After being forced out of 3rd Street, Washington, due to state inspection issues, Oxford Community Schools also decided to cut future operations at 5 South Washington. Now the good news. Those 2 locations are going to be filled with new tenants. The new tenant at 3rd Street, Washington is Susan Saylor, who will be opening a Kindred Spirits quilt shop, and Susan Oles will be opening Boutique on the Boulevard, a consignment shop at 5th South Washington. We at Oxford wish you both much success. A little bit of Kentucky landed in Metamora Township Saturday as Banbury Cross Therapeutic Equestrian Center hosted the 23rd Annual Derby Day fundraiser. Centered around the 139th running of the Kentucky Derby at the Churchill Downs in Louisville, Banbury's event featured silent and 5 auctions, chances to pick the Derby's winning horse, and a parade featuring some of Banbury's horses and a fabulous dinner. Banbury director Jessica Moore said it was the most successful Derby that they had ever had, and the event raised $98,000. I would say so. We just couldn't resist this story from Addison Township. Check out this cute picture of Rachel Amel enjoying her pancake. The Addison Township Fire Department held a pancake fest at station number 1 in the village of Leonard. Pancakes, waffles, and sausages were on the menu, and our reporter tells us that they were real yummy and coming those noises coming from the eager dinners. I am told that the meal was delicious as usual. Leonard Fire Department puts on the event every year, and if you haven't attended before, you can contact Fire Station number 1 in Leonard for the date and time of their next event. I wouldn't miss it. That's all the local news that we have for this evening. If you would like to learn more about these stories and others, you can pick up the latest copy of the Oxford Leader newspaper from your local store. Coming up next, OCTV, Jim Hughes with local Oxford sports, and then I'll be back with your weekly calendar of events, along with our buddy Dave Kenny with his auto and science news. This is Oxford Community Television News. I'm Elgin Nichols. Until next time, remember to always be kind to your friends and neighbors, and thanks for watching.
The American Legion, we're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veteran service organization in the nation, with 2.5 million members. And when you add to that the American Legion Auxiliary and the Sons of the American Legion, we have a family of 4 million members, working hard every day for our veterans, our youth, and our communities. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
Welcome to another segment of the news we call your calendar of events, where we feature your weekly calendar of local Oxford and Addison community events, including charity, special fundraisers, and general community information. Now, if you or your organization would like help to get your message out to the public, contact us for detailed information at our studio phone number, and that number is 248-628-9658, or you can go to our website, which is occtv.org. Entries for the Saturday, August 3rd Oxford Lone Ranger Parade is now being accepted. Parade organizers are seeking floats, bands, marching units, and vehicles and animals. To participate in this first ever event, the theme is Celebrate Lone Ranger. The deadline entry is Monday, July 15th. For more information, please contact the Oxford Village office at 248-628-2543, or you can email the village manager, Joe Young, at manager@villageofoxford.org. Thursday, May 23rd, Wojo's Greenhouse, a garden center, is sponsoring a fundraiser for Love Incorporated of North Oakland. 10% of all sales on that day will go to charity. The Oxford High School Athletic Boosters and Girls Soccer Program are organizing a fundraiser bazaar and is scheduled to be held in May. It will focus on the sale of vintage sportswear, and they are asking the public that if you have extra gently used or new unneeded Oxford Wildcat or Collegiate Spirit wear, to please consider donating those items to benefit the Oxford School Athletic Program. Collection boxes are located in the main offices of Oxford's middle school and high school. Oxford's summer concerts in the park will begin soon. Due to sponsorship by the Oxford Downtown Development Authority, DDA, there is no charge to the public. Bring your blanket or lawn chair, and sit back and enjoy the entertainment. The concerts will be held in the downtown Central Park and beginning June 6th and performing every Thursday until August 29th from 7 to 9 p.m. Won't want to miss it. The No Haz program, now allowing residents drop-off of hazardous materials, will be held on the following dates and locations. Saturday, June 15th, Oakland University, and Saturday, September 7th, OCC Highland Lakes. Saturday, September 28th, Wildwood of Orion Township at the amphitheater parking lot. On July 19th, 20th, and 21st at 7 p.m., Community Theater presents Aladdin. Presented by the Oxford Township Parks and Recreation Department, they are looking for some talented actors and actresses. Auditions will be held at the Oxford Middle School from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. for dates and age groups as follows. May 20th, 8 to 9-year-olds. May 21st, 11 to 12-year-olds. May 22nd, 13 to 18-year-olds. For the tryout, bring a small photo of yourself and a 1-minute Broadway song recorded of you on a CD. For more information, contact Jesse Hayes at 248-628-1720. Saturday, June 1st, 1 to 5 p.m. at the Friendship Park, Lake Orion. Join in with the annual Volunteer for Life and Cancer Prevention Relay. For more information, call 248-770-8587. We at Oxford Community Television would like our viewing public to learn more about your club or organization's special upcoming event or charity. So if you would like to get your special event mentioned on our television show, call us at 248-628-9658 or go to our website at occtv.org. A final reminder, don't forget to check out OCTV viewing schedule for my good friend Bill Service, who always has interesting local stories and interesting interviews on his community access program. This is Oxford Community Television, OCTV. I'm your host, Elgin Nichols. We invite you to join us again for the next segment of your weekly calendar of events.
Hi, I'm Liz Sawilski, Senior Representative with the American Cancer Society, and Relay for Life is coming to Oxford and Lake Orion. We actually are hosting our event here at Friendship Park, June 1st and 2nd. It's a 24-hour event, 10 a.m. to 10 a.m., and we invite all the public. We want everyone to come out and join us. The money raised for Relay for Life helps fund cancer research as well as programs and services provided through the American Cancer Society. So please come out and join us June 1st and 2nd here at Friendship Park. Please contact me with any questions, and we hope to see you here.
Hello there. Welcome to the American Legion Friday Night Fish Fry. Y'all come in to the best fish fry in town.
Well, as a 30-plus year Oxford resident, I've got to tell you, the American Legion, East Drainer Road, Fridays from 12 to 9, the best fish in the area.
We've been coming here for years, and the food's always been wonderful.
Here we are at the Legion having our fish and chips. Walleye is fantastic. Cod is good. Shrimp, everything. It's a great place to eat on Friday night with our friends. Service is great, so you should come out and have it.
If it's Friday, it's Fish Day at the American Legion at 130 East Drainer Road, Oxford.
Welcome to this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication Automotive News. In our first story, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has confirmed David Friedman, previously a transportation analyst at the Union of Concerned Scientists, as its new deputy administrator. Friedman, an engineer by training who has pushed for stricter fuel economy standards and lower oil consumption while working at the advocacy group, replaces Ron Medford, who left NHTSA last year to lead Google Incorporated's self-driving cars project. NHTSA Administrator David Strickland made the announcement May 15th during a congressional hearing on crash prevention features and other technologies that could boost the safety of cars. During the hearing, Strickland said the agency is getting closer to calling for automatic braking. Automatic braking systems use a camera or radar system to detect oncoming vehicles and objects and then apply the brakes if the driver fails to do so. Automakers such as Volvo and Mercedes-Benz have started to offer such features in their high-end cars or as optional equipment, earning praise from groups such as the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, which says Volvo's city safety system appears to be effective at preventing crashes in stop and start traffic. In a report released last month, the Institute said insurance claims are being filed about 16% less often with S60 sedans equipped with the feature than for other mid-sized luxury cars, and 15% less often for the XC60 than for comparable luxury SUVs. In an effort to hasten the adoption of such technologies, NHTSA ordered automakers to outfit all cars with electronic stability control starting in the 2011 model year. A similar mandate for automatic braking could be next. Strickland told reporters after hearing that the NHTSA could end up ordering the use of automatic braking or merely recommend it through the federal government's new car assessment program. The agency could also decide to do more research on the subject. Strickland said the agency staffers are working through that right now, and they'll be bringing it to me for an agency decision this year. So watch out. And news at General Motors. General Motors has turned to Nissan Motor Corporation to put Chevrolet dealers into the small cargo van market. GM, in a statement May 14th, said it will rebadge Nissan's new four-cylinder NV200 commercial van as the 2015 Chevrolet City Express in the fall of 2014. The Nissan NV200, built in Cuernavaca, Mexico, went on sale at Nissan dealerships only last month. Ed Pepper, U.S. Vice President of GM's Fleet and Commercial Sales, said the van will arrive in showrooms in the fall of 2014 and be sold across Chevrolet's dealer network. GM's fleet customers told us they had a need for this product, something with a lot of cargo space that gets great fuel economy, Pepper said. Demand for a smaller, more fuel-efficient cargo vehicle has surged in recent years, and amid higher gasoline prices, Pepper said in an interview. He expects to attract customers such as bakery or flour delivery companies, which may now use SUVs or crossovers. Pepper said the City Express will fill the role of the HHR, which was a fleet favorite before the retro-styled wagon was discontinued in 2011. GM said the City Express's front and rear ends have been restyled to reflect Chevrolet's design cues. The van will be sold in the base LS trim along with an LT model that will get cruise control, remote keyless entry, and other features. Both will get the 2-liter 4-cylinder engine and a continuously variable transmission. And at Toyota, with a recent petition, Toyota has intensified the pressure on safety regulators to approve new headlights currently forbidden on U.S. roads. The headlights use cameras to detect other cars and automatically dim the portions of the high beam that would shine in other drivers' eyes. Toyota has installed these high beams in 16,600 cars sold in Europe and Japan, but they are banned under a U.S. regulation that was last revised in 1999. Toyota and other automakers have argued for years that the feature would make nighttime driving safer. And in March, Toyota upped the ante, filing a petition that asked the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to update its headlight regulations. Automakers mainly see the new headlights as a convenience feature, giving drivers more light to drive by and saving the hassle of switching between high and low beams. But the new feature also offers potentially significant safety benefits, Toyota said in its petition. If put into all cars, high beams that do not blind other drivers could save an estimated 9 of the 2,334 pedestrians who die annually in the United States because of dark driving conditions. Toyota estimated based on an analysis of NHTSA accident data. In a statement to Automotive News, NHTSA signaled it may be open to changing its rules, which currently require cars to have high beams and low beams with no settings in between. The agency will start a research project this year to assess the headlights and will also seek comments on Toyota's petition. For now, U.S. customers will have to wait. But the episode is a sign of how headlights have become a selling point for cars. And at BMW said it is recalling about 220,000 vehicles worldwide from model years 2002 to 2003 as part of a wider recall affecting airbags made by the supplier Takata Corporation. The recall includes BMW's popular 3 Series sedans, coupes, convertibles, and station wagons. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration said 42,080 vehicles will be recalled in the United States. BMW expects to have parts to repair the recalled vehicles starting in July, spokesman Dave Bucco said. BMW said it was not aware of any injuries or accidents related to the issue, nor of any improper deployments of the airbags in its vehicles, he said. Well, that's all for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and as always, may the wind be at your back as you cruise down life's highways. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television, and we'll be right back.
You better get yourself ready. Is the seatbelt on your couch fastened tight? Do you have a file handy for chewed off fingernails? Make sure you do, and hang on tight, because the fat man cometh. There are other cop shows, others that want your attention. But nothing will command your attention like the amazingly horrendous things you'll see people heartlessly do on Fat TV. The men and women of Fugitive Apprehension TV.
President Roosevelt signed the Bill of Rights.
I've always appreciated the American Legion.
My gratitude to the American Legion.
Thank you all of the American Legion.
We have millions of veterans that are members of our organization.
Thank you.
The American Legion, celebrating a legacy of service to America. Find out more at legion.org.
Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from the publication New Scientist. In our first story, it's cricket crumble for dinner. We should all be eating more insects because doing so is better for the planet than tucking in conventional meat like beef. In a new report entitled Edible Insects, Future Prospects for Food and Feed Security, the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, or FAO, says that farmed insects should make a big contribution to our diets. They contain lots of protein and are cheap to produce. They also have major environmental benefits. Conventional meat is not an efficient way to get nutrients because animals must be fed on crops, and much of the energy that goes into cultivating the crops is wasted. To produce 1 kilogram of beef, for example, you need 10 kilograms of feed, whereas 1 kilogram of crickets requires just 1.7 kilograms. What's more, 80% of the cricket is edible compared with just 40% of the cow. The FAO therefore calculates that crickets are 12 times more as efficient at converting feed into meat as cows. By farming insects, we could get more meat from the same amount of grain, use less land for agriculture, and cut pollution. The problem is that most people in the developed world are reluctant to eat creepy crawlies. On paper, insects are fantastic, but on a plate, most people won't touch them, says Aaron Dasson of Ento, a London company specializing in insect-based foods. I don't think we can sell insects based on their sustainability, says Dasson. Instead, Ento targets foodies with bite-sized morsels for sharing. And on the disease front, within the last week, 13 new cases of coronavirus have been confirmed worldwide, including 7 deaths in Saudi Arabia. This brings the total number of cases to 30, including 18 deaths. A sudden surge in cases suggests that the SARS-like virus may have spread more widely than previously suspected. So we'll keep our eye on that one. And still on the disease front, the U.S. government has declared that the H7N9 bird flu poses a significant potential for a public health emergency and has given emergency use authorization for diagnostic kits for the virus. This means tests can be used that haven't gone through the usual lengthy approval process by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. They are right to be concerned. H7N9 could be a tough adversary. It provokes a weaker immune response than most flu, making vaccines hard to produce. Although H7N9 is not as far transmissible between humans, it does cause severe disease in people, is easier to catch than other bird flu strains, and may need only a few mutations to go pandemic. The UK has already given doctors instructions on how to test people with H7N9 and how to manage any with the virus. The U.S.'s emergency authorization will allow the use of a kit that looks for flu genes using a polymerase chain of reaction test, which has been made specific for H7N9. The kit had preliminary tests, but would normally need a more exhaustive test to be approved, and innovative new diagnostics should eventually be authorized too, says Charles Chu of the University of California in San Francisco. This kind of fast, high-throughput screening for pandemic flu, possibly at borders, might allow early cases to be treated with antiviral drugs, potentially slowing the spread of the virus while vaccines are made. The next emergency authorization is likely to be for immune-stimulating chemicals called adjuvants to be put in those vaccines. Those were used in vaccines in Europe and Canada during the 2009 pandemic, but adjuvants suitable for flu are not currently approved in the U.S. Labs are now making seed viruses that manufacturers can use to create the H7N9 vaccine. That process faces the same development delays as in 2009 when vaccine arrived too late for most people. But there is another problem. H7 flu is poor at stimulating immunity. Virologists at the European Flu Summit in Brussels last week said that early results show 13 more times H7N9 virus is needed to elicit a protective immune response than is needed for ordinary flu. That's bad news. The more virus a vaccine requires, the fewer doses that can be grown in a given time. H7N9 may be stealth virus that is able to fly under the immune system's radar, says Anne de Groot at the University of Rhode Island in Providence. That's because its surface protein, hemagglutinin, doesn't contain many short amino acid sequences called epitopes that trigger helper T cells in the body to stimulate antibody-making cells. H7N9 is not very immunogenic because the epitopes have a very weak signal, says Masato Toshiro, head of flu at Japan's National Institute of Infectious Diseases in Tokyo. People differ genetically in the epitopes their T cells recognize, and his lab has found that Asian people could be especially vulnerable. Adjuvants might make vaccines containing less virus more effective, meaning doses can be produced faster. However, children in Northern Europe who received adjuvanted flu vaccines in 2009 had slightly higher rates of narcolepsy than normal. Epidemiological studies so far do not show whether the adjuvant was the cause, says Miriam Strukboom of the Erasmus Medical Center in Rotterdam in the Netherlands. The U.S. is now funding a large study of countries that used adjuvanted vaccines in 2009 to see if they may have caused narcolepsy. And in space, spring break is over for NASA's Mars rover. But before it can get to work, Curiosity will receive some upgrades, such as the ability to fire its laser with more autonomy. The rover had gone into standby mode throughout April when Mars went behind the sun from our perspective. Limited radio communications made it difficult for drivers on Earth to send Curiosity new commands. The blackout left the team with a cliffhanger. In March, Curiosity had delivered the first chemical evidence of an ancient life-friendly environment on Mars. The rover woke up on May 1st and is transitioning to new software. As a result, the ChemCam tool, which shoots rocks with a laser to analyze the resulting puff of gas, will be able to auto-adjust to avoid glare from the sun, letting it aim at a wider range of rocks. After the upgrade, Curiosity will try to confirm the habitable conditions at its current site, says mission lead scientist John Grotzinger. After that, we're likely to begin the trek to Mount Sharp, a layered mountain that should show how the Martian surface has changed over time. Well, that's it for this edition of Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny. Stay tuned to Oxford Community Television, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Liz Sawolski, Senior Representative with the American Cancer Society. And Relay for Life is coming to Oxford and Lake Orion. We actually are hosting our event here at Friendship Park, June 1st and 2nd. It's a 24-hour event, 10 a.m. to 10 a.m. And we invite all the public. We want everyone to come out and join us. The money raised for Relay for Life helps fund cancer research as well as programs and services provided through the American Cancer Society. So please come out and join us June 1st and 2nd. Here at Friendship Park. Please contact me with any questions, and we hope to see you here.